Since Apple broke with NVIDIA a couple years ago, machine learning developers only use Mac to remote to Linux dev environment. Recently, I noticed Apple released a TensorFlow for macOS repo on GitHub. It seems that Apple is really trying to attract some machine learning developers. It's based on ML Compute framework. On Apple's website, ML Compute can accelerate machine learning via CPU and GPU. So, I'm gonna give a try today. First of all, I want to point out the release version is 0.1 Alpha 2, so it's definitely not a production-ready tool. The installation is quite straightforward, so I just follow this instruction. First, I download the YAML file to create a CUDA environment in my Anaconda. Then I just need to override the TensorFlow version using the well provided. Alright, let's give a try. The laptop I use for this experiment is the 16-inch MacBook released in 2019. Since it is nearly impossible to find a graphic card released by AMD recently, my card is the RX 570 that I bought a couple years ago. The experiment was done on the Minis dataset. And I use a pretty large hidden layer so I can stress test the libraries. To begin with, I'm going to use the TensorFlow CPU version as the baseline. Okay, let's kick it off. So it used about 2 minutes, not that bad. Then I'm going to use the PlaidML as my baseline for the GPU. If you're not familiar with it, it's a library that allows GPU acceleration on AMD hardware. Let's kick it off. Wow, it is really quick. It just takes about a minute. Now, let's test out the TensorFlow macOS library then. I'm going to start with the CPU acceleration. This is done by setting the mlcompute.mlc device equals to CPU. Let's give a try.
2,000 years later.
Finally, it finished. It used more than 10 minutes. Last, let's give a try using GPU acceleration. When it's running, I noticed my entire UI is very laggy. Sometimes my trackpad is not even responsive. Okay, finally finished. It used just about 5 minutes. As you can tell, TensorFlow for macOS probably is not optimized yet, so it's not even as fast as the CPU version. While I was running these experiments, I just came up with another idea. My old MacBook has an NVIDIA graphic card, cannot install the CUDA on the latest operating system. Luckily, I still have my old Mac. It's a mid-2012 Retina version. Similarly, I'm going to start with the standard CPU version. Alright, finally finished. It used more than 10 minutes. Seems my new MacBook Pro is 5 times faster. Not bad. Now, let's kick off the TensorFlow macOS with CPU acceleration. Since this laptop only has 8 GB of memory, it seems like 512 is too big for the batch size, so I adjusted it to 128. However, it would take more than 15 minutes just for one epic, so I killed it. Now, let's give a try the GPU version to see how it goes. Since my graphic card GT650M only has 1 GB of memory, I have to further reduce the batch size to 32 to make it work. Luckily, it works without CUDA installed, and my GPU usage climbed almost to 100%. However, as you can tell, it's a slow CPU version, so I killed it as well. To summarize, PlaidML is the fastest approach for now. It only takes about a minute. The CPU version is okay. It just takes about less than 3 minutes. The TensorFlow macOS is definitely a great idea and something I look forward to, but I believe Apple still has a long way to go to further improve its performance. The test done on my old MacBook Pro is also interesting, although it is too slow to run all the experiments. It proves that TensorFlow macOS works on NVIDIA graphic card as well, even without the latest NVIDIA driver and CUDA installed. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful day.